Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. Hopefully you guys are doing good. Hopefully you had a good weekend. I did not have a good weekend. I got smoked this weekend. Outside of the Warriors on Saturday night, I was getting destroyed. We're going to talk about everything. We will go through the NBA games. I'd love to talk through those. Obviously, NFL draft stuff too. Oh man, NFL draft, NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs too. Edmonton evened their series last night, so that's 2-2 going back to LA for Game 5, which is interesting. We got Avalanche and Stars 2-2 going back to Dallas tonight. The Lightning got a big win over the Panthers, much to my dismay, but Vasilevsky played very, very good on Saturday. So I think the Lightning are live to win tonight. And then, Caps are up 3-1. They should close out. Hurricanes are up 3-1. They should be able to close out. Jets Blues is 2-2. So lots going on in the hockey streets as well. Nathan, good morning. But so let's talk. Let's go NBA first. So first and foremost, obviously OKC swept, so that's over and done. They're just waiting to beat whoever survives this Nuggets Clippers series. Like, it's such a bad spot because, it's going to go 6 or 7 games, and these games have been, literal wars, and now they got to go play the Thunder, who, swept the Grizzlies. Like, they're just sitting at home waiting. So really bad spot for whoever wins that series. But we've got that series. We've got the Rockets, Warriors, Knicks, Pistons. We can talk about that too with the Pistons, with the whole referees. But okay, so Thunder, they're moved on. That's done. Pacers, they're moved on. That's done. I feel bad for Damian Lillard to get hurt like that, like working his way back from these like blood clots and then to tear your Achilles. 35-year-old. I feel bad. I've always been a big fan of Dame. I feel bad, but the Bucks are done, and I would be pretty surprised if Giannis is on the Bucks next year. I'm gonna just be honest. And I'm not saying he's gonna come out and like demand a trade, but I don't really see the Bucks need to just blow it up and rebuild. They are in such a bad spot. Even with Giannis next year, they are not a good team. They won't be good. They're not going to have Dame for the entire season. Just tore his Achilles. Kuzma, I don't even know. Like, I'd have to check into their like contracts and stuff, but the team is just not good. So I would be surprised if Giannis is on the Bucks next year. That series is over. Cavs are up 3-0 in the Heat. That series is over. So those are all done. Then we got a bunch of, after those series, we've got a bunch of good ones. So we'll go game by game from the weekend. So we'll start on Saturday. We'll start with Nuggets Clippers. Guru said Jokic complains too much. All right, so he does complain, but I don't know. It doesn't bother me that much, I guess. All those guys complain just constantly. All right. Clippers, Nuggets. I think the Clippers still are going to win this series. Great for the Nuggets to get that win on Saturday with the buzzer beater. That was a crazy play. I think the Clippers are going to win on Tuesday, and I think they're going to win at home. I think this is going to be a 6-game series, and I will take the Clippers in 6. So, you can see the Clippers are still minus 164 for the series. Plus 172 on the 4-2. I don't really love that to bet it, but I think the Clippers are going to win in 6. We'll see what happens in this next game, but I would like the Clippers in the next game. Nuggets, the longer that we go in the series, the more it's going to hurt the Nuggets. Like, they just don't have the guys. I don't like that was a lucky play for sure, but I mean, that's Aaron Gordon is such a good role player. He's always in the right spots. Like, that's the type of stuff that can happen when you have him on your team. Like, even though that was a bad shot, it was just a turnaround 3. He was in the right spot and, made the play. So even though it was lucky, Aaron Gordon is always in the right spots. Aaron Gordon's very good. The problem, so if you wanted to build a case for Denver in this series, I do think that I think Denver is kind of, I don't know like how to explain it. Even though I think the Clippers are the better team and they're the more talented team, top to bottom roster wise, I still feel like Denver is more of a team. They've won a title together, the majority of them. I feel like Jokic is more of like a vocal type leader, right? Like him and Aaron Gordon, I feel like kind of embody the entire team. And it's more of a vocalized like leading style as opposed to like Kawhi Leonard is just he doesn't show emotion ever. And then James Harden, not really what I would consider a leader, team wise. So I do think in a long series that can hurt the Clippers, but I just don't think the Nuggets they just don't have like, look at on Saturday. So obviously Russ didn't play. So Gordon, Porter, Jokic, Brown, Murray, those guys all played 40 minutes. We're talking about 5 guys basically played the entire game. You got 13 minutes from Peyton Watson and 6 minutes from Jalen Pickett, and then you got those 5 minutes from DeAndre Jordan. Literally 5 players played the entire game for the Denver Nuggets. It's just not sustainable, I feel like, in a 7-game series, but we'll see what happens. I'll take the Clippers still to win the series. Should be a great game. I tweeted it. Best first-round series of the 2020s. Every game has been – I mean, there was one blowout, but there's been some just banger games so far in that series. So excited to watch that game 5. And then we had the Warriors and Rockets. So I tweeted this also, like completely inexcusable for the Houston Rockets to lose a game with Jimmy Butler out. The Golden State Warriors, very much like the Denver Nuggets, are top heavy roster wise. They just don't have the guys. Like, they have more guys that they can play, right? Whereas Denver literally played 5 guys. Steve Kerr played 8, 9 guys. They have bodies they can put out there, but they're not getting any scoring from these guys not named Steph Curry or, I mean, really, it's Steph Curry, and you're hoping to get some shots from Buddy Hield and like Gary Payton. That's where you're looking for this offense. Like, there was a point in the first half where I was very concerned that the Warriors were going to score 80 points because literally no one else was making any shots. Like, if Brandon Podziemski is not going to score the ball and you don't have Jimmy Butler on the floor, the Warriors are not going to score the ball. So, I mean, I thought personally he played 41 minutes. He had 36, 9, and 7. I thought that was one of Steph Curry's most impressive playoff performances in his entire career. And that's someone that has, 4 NBA championships. The way that Houston guards him and is allowed, and look, I don't have a problem with it. I love watching physical basketball. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but for how Houston is allowed to defend Steph Curry off the ball, for him to still come out and have 36, 9, and 7 and beat you without his second best, I don't want to say second best, but without his running mate, Jimmy Butler, I thought that was extremely impressive. anyone that says Steph Curry is too little and he couldn't have played back in the 80s and 90s, uh, I don't think that you can say that at this point. If you've watched how Houston has handled him for this series and he is still doing what he does, it's pretty incredible to watch. So, Houston to lose that game without Butler is just flat out bad. I don't understand this Houston team's like offense at some points. Like there's just nothing going. Yeah, I don't know. I think that I don't know if Green is hurt, but his performance. I don't know if you're talking about Draymond Green, but I mean Draymond Green is not a scorer. Like he's just so clearly past his prime, but he is so good defensively. It's actually like incredible to watch. Like he is on the court, literally playing quarterback on defense, telling everyone what to do. It's pretty crazy. And for him to still like be able, like he can't move, like you can see it. He just can't move like he used to. But for him to still be able to do that is pretty crazy to watch. I thought that was extremely impressive on Saturday night. It was really fun to watch. So I feel good about the Warriors for the series because I'm assuming Butler's going to come back. Hopefully he does. They've got another game at home tomorrow night. Would not be shocked. Oh, Jalen Green. Yeah. Jalen Green. I mean, he had that big game in their win, but then again, what he had 9 points. I don't know. There's just no consistency from him whatsoever. I don't really understand it. Don't understand the Rockets offense in general. I still think the Rockets need someone else offensively. I feel like most people are just penciling in that Kevin Durant will go to Houston. Will that make a difference? I don't know. I don't know if Kevin Durant can still play. Not saying he can't play at a high level. He clearly can, but I don't know if he could still lead a team on a playoff run like he used to. I don't know. I think there's legitimate questions about that going into next season. So I don't know if getting Kevin Durant would just be an instant fix to the Houston Rockets team for the playoffs. I don't know, but I do think they're one guy away still. So we'll see what happens. I wouldn't be shocked if Houston punches back and at least gets another win, but I'm feeling pretty good about my Warriors stuff. I'll take my chances, assuming Butler plays. I'll take my chances with the Warriors in their next series and moving forward. We'll see what happens. Man, Timberwolves and Warriors would be such a crazy series. But feeling good about the Warriors in this one. Okay, moving on to Sunday. Pistons got screwed over on that call, but I think it's egregious when you see it in replay. But at the same, and it should have been called. I'm not saying it shouldn't have been called. 100% that should have been called. The refs, came out and said so themselves. But at the same time, that was an extremely physical game, and they were letting stuff go the whole game. So I'm not defending it because it was a foul, and I feel bad for the Pistons and like the Pistons fans. But the refs were letting them play very physical for that entire game. I thought it was a good game. I think the Pistons could just as easily be up 3-1 as they are down 3-1. But I think the big difference for New York is exactly what we talked about on stream last week. We said, where is Karl Anthony Towns? They need Karl Anthony Towns if they want to be good. And since we said that, he has gone for 31. He went for 31-8 last week, right? Had that big game. And then yesterday was just incredible. He had 27-9, but those shots he hit at the end of that game were crazy. And I've had questions about Cat in the playoffs. Like, those were two incredible shots. And then, you can just combine that with Jalen Brunson, who is arguably the best closer in the NBA right now. Like, you just feel so safe. If it's a one-possession game, if you're down a possession, up a possession, and you have the ball late, you would just feel so safe knowing the ball is in Jalen Brunson's hands. But I feel bad for the Pistons. They're still a young team. I don't trust JB Bickerstaff in the playoffs. I've told you guys this for months. And like I said, the Pistons could just as easily be up 3-1 as they are down 3-1, but they're just not. And I think those small little things are probably the difference. Lakers Wolves. I don't even know. I don't know where to start with this. I really don't. Okay. Let's start with this. The Lakers are dead and gone. I will just come out and say that. We knew that they were top heavy coming into the playoffs. I don't know if we knew they were exactly this top heavy. But the fact that Jackson Hayes can quite literally not be on the court is why the Lakers are in this position. And it still comes back to that Mark Williams trade. I mean, I was so high on the Lakers after that Mark Williams trade, and it didn't end up working. And it's really, really hurt them down the stretch. If we look at Jackson Hayes, he quite literally cannot be on the court. He played 8 minutes in game 1. He was a -11, okay? He only played 8 minutes, -11. So I was kind of at the standpoint where after that game 1, I was like, maybe we don't even see him at all, right? He played 9 minutes again the next game. He was +6. The Lakers won. That's well and good. That's fine. And then in game 3, where the Timberwolves won, 116-104, he played 9 minutes and he was -13. I don't know. Like he literally can't be on the floor. And then yesterday he only played 4 minutes. So JJ just completely went away from him yesterday. He started the game. He played 4 minutes. He checked out. He never came back in. This is hurting the Lakers so much because LeBron is 40 years old playing 46 minutes. Luka Doncic played 46 minutes. Austin Reeves played 35 minutes. Dorian Finney-Smith played 41 minutes. Rui played 41 minutes. Like the Denver Nuggets, they had 5 guys that played the entire game. And that's not going to play in a playoff series. It's just not. Even if the Lakers won this series, it's not going to matter. And people, I've seen so many people complaining about Luka. Like, I don't understand what you people are watching. Like, did Luka play great in the second half yesterday? No, but he literally played the entire game. Same with LeBron. LeBron didn't score in the fourth quarter because he played the entire game, and he's 40 years old. And he's playing so hard on defense, guarding the best player. Anthony Edwards did not score a field goal in the last 7 minutes of that game yesterday. He went to the free throw line twice, but he did not score a field goal, and LeBron was guarding him. And LeBron had a big block late. He had a big steal late. Now, he also took that – the Lakers were up 1, and there was like a minute left, and LeBron took that terrible three-point shot. That was a horrible shot. But you simply cannot sit here and blame LeBron or Luka for the Lakers' losses. I mean, you just can't. They're hoping the Lakers are at a standpoint, and Rui Hachimura played great yesterday. He gave him 23 points. Like, you're at a point you're hoping for 6 points from some of these other guys, and they're just not getting it. And Minnesota is deeper. Yeah, I don't think JJ is getting out coach Guru. I just think Minnesota is just better, and Anthony Edwards is just an absolute killer. If you love basketball and you don't love watching Anthony Edwards play, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, the guy was incredible in the playoffs last year, incredible this year. Great performance yesterday, 43, 9, and 6. And he didn't do anything late in the game. McDaniel stepped up. DiVincenzo had a big play late. Naz Reid hit a big 3 late. And what has really stuck out to me, Anthony Edwards is great. One of the best players in the league. There's no debate. He's fun to watch. The one thing that stuck out to me is Julius Randle. Julius Randle, this is not a Julius Randle that we have never seen this. Even on his time in New York, we have never seen a Julius Randle this engaged, especially on the defensive end of the floor in the playoffs. I've never seen it. He has really, really stuck out to me and played fantastic. And if he plays like that for the entire playoffs, Minnesota has as good of a chance as anyone to make the NBA Finals. I'll be honest with you, if we got Thunder versus Timberwolves and Randall has, like, assuming we get Wolves versus Thunder, that would mean that Randall has probably been playing like he has been this entire time. I'll probably be on the Wolves in that series. I can't believe how good Julius Randle's played. I do think it's funny, like, I don't know, like people talking about when Edwards was like pushing LeBron and stuff and like comping it to like MJ and like Kobe and stuff. Like LeBron is 40 years old. Like, are we forgetting this? I've seen people like, they're like, why is LeBron letting him do that? Like MJ would never, Kobe would never. Like those guys weren't playing high level basketball when they were 40 years old. Like he's 40. Okay, I'm 29 and I like to think I'm in shape, but like there's sometimes I'll go like run or something and I feel like I'm dying. This guy is playing high, like obviously he's a freak athlete, but this guy's playing high level basketball. I can't imagine another 11 years from now that I could be playing high level basketball. Like I don't know, he's 40 years old, but yeah, the Timberwolves have won the series. It's over. I wouldn't be shocked. We should get a big LeBron game. Like I'm going to be interested in LeBron props in this next game. The Lakers are -5.5. I wouldn't be shocked if the Wolves just won the game. But I think the series is over. I don't think this Lakers team can come back from 3-1 down, and it's because they just don't have anyone other than Luka and LeBron, and then they have Reeves and Rui. I mean, those guys are basically playing 4-on-5. Dorian Finney-Smith is what he is, but they just don't have any depth. They do not have a center. So they have some big changes to make in the offseason. But, yeah, I don't know. I think Julius Randle, for me, has really stuck out in this series. And then, Celtics Magic is over. It's 3-1 going back to Boston. They're going to close that out. So we got a couple good series going and a couple, that are going to be ending here soon. Looking at, like the next potential matchups, though, there's definitely some interesting stuff to come, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. Very curious to see what happens tonight, Golden State, Houston, and then tomorrow night with that Nuggets Clippers game, and then obviously, the Wolves Lakers not playing till Wednesday is a big help for the Lakers, though. Getting off because. If it was like that quick, like if they played tomorrow after the Lakers played all those minutes, LeBron and Luka didn't come off the floor in the second half, that would be a big, but at least they get that extra day. For tonight, though, I probably won't be playing anything. The Cavs just wrecked the Heat on Saturday, and they didn't even have Darius Garland, and they still did it. I don't know. I probably won't play anything in that game. Let me see. Did he score? Not score. Did Jared Allen have a double-double literally the game after we bet that? I would love to know, though. Pretty sure he did. Yeah, he had 22 and 10. That's fantastic. You could probably go back to that, honestly. Like, it was a good look, and then he did it. He missed it slightly that game. He hit it the next game. You could probably go back to the Jared Allen double-double. I probably won't bet anything here. I mean, I obviously lean Warriors, assuming Butler plays. But I told you guys I wouldn't be shocked to see Houston completely desperate win this game, take it back to Houston 2-2. So I'll probably just stay away. Won't bet anything in the NBA tonight, but I'll be rooting for the Warriors for our futures. Hopefully they can just get that done and, go from there. For tomorrow, I'm going to be on the Clippers in this game. I'll probably parlay it with something. I'll probably just play it by itself and then parlay it with something. But I definitely will be on the Clippers tomorrow, I think. And then on the MLB side of things, there's one play I really like, and it's actually Cleveland today at -126. This was -122 when I took it, so it's moved up 4 cents. This is a good spot for them. They got destroyed yesterday by Boston, but I'm not worried about that. At home against Minnesota team they've had a lot of success against the last few seasons, but stylistically, I think it's a good matchup for them as well. So, Bailey Ober, I'm not the biggest fan of. He's good at times. He gets really, really good extension on his pitches. Like he's good at times, but the underlying, like if we look at last year, 3.98 ERA, this year 5.04, 5.01 expected. His strikeouts are way down from 27% to 21%. Overall, just not really impressed with him. And then his fastball, which is his most used pitch, he is allowing a 195 batting average with, but a 254 expected batting average. So he has been a little lucky, it appears to me. And then if we look at last year, that fastball too, like he got a 23% whiff rate with this fastball. This year it's at 14%. So I definitely think he's gotten a little bit lucky. And I'm not the biggest fan of him anyways. Gavin Williams, I am a big fan of. And I thought he was going to have a really big season coming into this year. That really has not translated. He's got a 5.28 expected ERA, but he's coming off a really big start against the Yankees. I want to see how he looks tonight. Tonight will be a big giveaway for me. Like, did he just have a rough start? Is he starting to put it together? Because he looked great in spring training. So I want to see how he looks tonight. Is he going to, get back on track and start putting together that big season I thought was coming from him? Or, was it kind of fool's gold in spring training? I will say, like, he's completely changed his pitch mix from last year to this year, which is part of why he was great in spring training and part of why I thought he was going to have a big season. If we look at last year, he was fastball, curveball, cutter, slider, like tons of fastballs, and then a pretty even mix between curveball, cutter, slider. This year, it's fastball. He's got this sweeper that he's throwing that he did not throw last year, and then his curveball as well. And his sweeper and curveball both have huge whiff rates on those pitches, 47% on the sweeper, 37% on the curveball. So these have been two really good pitches, and his fastball is just getting beat. 330 expected batting average with that fastball. That's his problem, and he needs to stabilize that a little bit or just start throwing even more. Just don't throw it as much. He's still throwing it 55% of the time this year. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But I like Cleveland tonight. I would be interested, honestly, probably in the total too, the over, because I definitely think Cleveland can score against Ober. And then if this fastball is going to be that bad and he's going to keep throwing it 55% of the time, I mean, the good fastball hitters on Minnesota are going to be, in a good spot. So when you think about, Byron Buxton last year, 300 expected batting average against fastballs, 60% hard hit rate this year, 321 batting average, 76% hard hit rate, really good numbers against fastballs. Trevor Larnach is a good fastball hitter as well last year, 330 expected batting average, 54% hard hit rate. Carlos Correa has been hitting the ball well the last few days. Let me see his numbers against fastballs. 338 batting average, 309 expected, 58% hard hit rate. So I don't know. I might actually change this and just bet the over. Although Cleveland does have a pretty big bullpen advantage, and they didn't have to use any of their big guys yesterday because they were just getting destroyed. Let me see. Minnesota, they're actually closer than I thought bullpen wise. That would concern me though in terms of the total, just because I know if it's a close game, Cleveland's going to use their big dogs at the back end, and that is going to obviously affect Minnesota's ability to score runs late. So if they don't score any off Gavin Williams, that's going to be an issue. So I don't know. I might stick with my original. I like Cleveland. But you could look at like some Buxton, Correa, Larnach props, maybe throw them in a hit parlay or hits, runs, RBI, something like that. But I do like Cleveland. And then I like the New York Yankees today as well. I'm probably going to play them first 5 at minus 130. Will Warren is okay. It's like take it or leave it. But Sagano, I'm just not a big fan of this guy. Pretty comfortable he can keep you off balance because he throws so many pitches, but like different types of pitches, splitter, sweeper, cutter, fastball, sinker, curveball, like classic, like, Japanese pitcher, like has a huge pitch arsenal, but overall he's a 3.54 ERA, 6.11 expected, gets virtually no strikeouts, like extreme contact pitcher. I'm talking 8% strikeout rate for this season is just absolutely terrible. He gets 0 swing and miss on like anything, and he's just pitching to contact. So I like the Yankees. This is Sagano, probably someone I'll be betting against, for the next few starts until he has like that big blow up outing that I know is coming. So I like the Yankees today. I like the Guardians today, and I like maybe some Twins props. I don't know. I'm gonna think about that one a little bit more. As far as NFL draft goes, we didn't really talk about that. I don't know why they're jamming 4 games in on a weekday. Yeah, I agree, Guru. I'm not a fan of the scheduling. As far as NFL draft goes, I thought the Arizona Cardinals had a great draft, just off the top of my head. I thought Baltimore had a great draft. Dewan, what's up? I personally thought Seattle had a great draft. Those 3 really stuck out to me. I'm not the biggest Jackson Dart fan. If he is a hit, I would say I think the Giants had a great draft, but it's going to hinge on whether or not Jackson Dart is their quarterback, and I'm just not the biggest fan of him. But I'll give him a chance. I'm not ever going to sit here and definitively tell you, especially with a quarterback, we just have no idea till they get on the field. But not the biggest fan of him right now. If he's good, I think New York had a good draft as well. And honestly, I thought Cleveland did pretty well too. I would assume so. I would look for the Dolphins. I would look for Jalen Ramsey to get traded. Just thinking off the top of my head, I would look for Jalen Ramsey to get traded. I would look for the Browns to be trading for a receiver, and I would probably look for like Green Bay to trade one of those guys. They have a pretty crowded room. So I could see Dontavian Wicks, maybe Jaden Reed. If Green Bay trades Jaden Reed, I will have no words, because first and foremost, I thought I'm not the biggest Matthew Golden fan. I thought he was just a bad pick. Like, I think it's hilarious that Green Bay hasn't taken a receiver in the first round since 2002, and they chose Matthew Golden to be that. Like, I don't know. I didn't think it was a great pick. And Jaden Reed I don't understand what Green Bay's deal is with Jaden Reed. Like, he's the best receiver on their team. So if they trade Jaden Reed, I have no words for the Green Bay Packers. But Seattle, Arizona, Baltimore all stuck out to me for good drafts. And there was other teams too that just did good. Like there wasn't very many bad ones that stuck out. I think Detroit's could be really bad. It could be good or it could be really bad. I don't know. I thought it was a weird strategy what they did. I mean, Detroit. So if you guys don't know, Isaac Tesla is like, if you could rank out analysts in terms of being high on Isaac Tesla, I would be at the top of that list. Like, there's like no one in the world that could be higher on Isaac Tesla than I am. And I didn't even have him. Like, never in my life did I think he would be like, I didn't think he'd be a day 2 draft pick. And the Lions gave up 3 picks to trade up and take him. So they clearly view Isaac Tesla as like a Jameson Williams replacement. I would assume that Detroit will feel pretty like, in a dream scenario, Isaac Tesla ends up being Jameson Williams, and then they can just let Jameson Williams go and not sign him after this 5th year. I think that would be like, clearly that's what they think, because I don't know why else you would move 3 picks to go up and draft him. So clearly they view him as the Jameson Williams replacement. So they need to hit on that for this draft to not be just a total disaster. I didn't think the Bengals had a very good draft personally. Not even that I really didn't like their picks, but not really sure kind of their strategy. But yeah, I'm gonna be so if you guys are just curious, I'm gonna have rookie rankings coming out for fantasy football. I'll be working on those. I'm gonna embed some data spaces in that with some historical performances, but we'll have quarterback, running back, receiver, and tight end rankings coming out on the blog here soon. I've seen a lot of debate about RJ Harvey already. I think for Dynasty, so if I'm playing in Dynasty leagues, I would never weigh landing spot versus player, like what I think the player is. Like prime example of that would be, a couple years ago, you guys know I was very high on Jonathan Taylor. So for Dynasty leagues, a lot of people took Clyde Edwards-Helaire over Jonathan Taylor because Clyde Edwards-Helaire got drafted in front of him and went to the Kansas City Chiefs. And I would just never make that. I'm taking the best player. I'm taking what I view as the best player 10 out of 10 times in a Dynasty league. Now, for this season specifically, that changes because I do think landing spot matters for a one season compared to what we're projecting for a career. But I think RJ Harvey for this season specifically, it's just a smash pick. I mean, if you look at past Sean Payton running backs, you think of like Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram, right? Reggie Bush. The Saints have always produced valuable fantasy running backs under Sean Payton. And clearly Sean Payton loves RJ Harvey because he drafted him over some pretty big name college running backs. And I like RJ Harvey as a player. Another guy, like I thought I was high on RJ Harvey. Little did I know the Broncos were going to take him as high as they did. I didn't even remotely think that was a possibility. But I think for this season specifically, RJ Harvey, smash player. I think there's going to be a lot of good rookie running backs for fantasy this year. I said on Sports Cards Live when I was on that stream last weekend, like I firmly believe there's going to be a running back renaissance in the NFL. I think Ashton Genty is instantly a top 10 pick in fantasy this year. You have Amarion Hampton, who's going to be great. RJ Harvey's going to be great. I think Quinshon Judkins could be very good, like for fantasy purposes. And there's some other guys too. Cam Scatterbo, I think, could be good in New York. Like there's a lot of good rookie running backs this year. I didn't understand the Texans draft. Yeah, Ryan. So I'm not saying the Texans had a good draft, but basically how I view it is CJ Stroud comes out and has this insane rookie season, right? To where a historically good rookie season for CJ Stroud, passing the football. And then he comes out last year. I was never a fan of Bobby Slowick's offense, even when CJ Stroud was putting up these monster games as a rookie. So they come into last year with a questionable offensive scheme, in my opinion, and a bad offensive line. And the production went way, way down for CJ Stroud. So I think they view it as they have a great defensive head coach and they know what they're going to bring on defense every week. But they're going to have to improve that offense and tailor that offense to CJ Stroud's game. So I love what not saying their draft, but I love what they did this offseason. They just completely revamped everything. They're like, Laramie Tunsil regarded as one of the best left tackles in football. They're like, we'll trade him away. They have give me a whole new offensive line. Tank Dell's not going to play this year. So give me a whole new offensive line. And we were going to go to war with Nico Collins, both Iowa State receivers, Christian Kirk. We're not going to have any questions at receiver. So we've got all these guys now, and we have an entire new offensive line and a new offensive coordinator. So I like the overall strategy from the Texans this year. I'm not saying I love their draft. We'll see. I do like both Jaden Higgins and Noel. I'm a big Higgins fan. I was hoping like maybe the Browns would draft him. I had him. Let me check. Where did I have? Did I have him top 5? Let me see. I'm pretty sure I did. I had him 6. I had Jaden Higgins, wide receiver 6 in this class. Honestly, I'd probably like looking back, I'd probably put him at 5. I feel like I like him a little bit more than Matthew Golden personally, but I like that pick. We'll uh we'll see what happens though. I think Jaden Higgins is a baller. I liked some landing spots I liked too. Like at receiver, I thought Jack Beck to the Raiders such a good fit, man. They really don't have anyone, especially in that role, like where he can win over the middle of the field at receiver. Obviously, they have Brock Bowers, but um, after Jacoby Myers, like I love that fit for Jack Beck. I had Jack Beck 7th overall wide receiver in this class. I like the landing spot for Tyrell McMillan. I think he can have success in Carolina with Bryce Young. You guys know I like Bryce Young, so I'm excited to see how they look on the field. I liked the landing spot for Harold Fannin Jr., the tight end. So this is a local kid to me. Same hometown as where obviously I grew up. He played at Bowling Green. So good. Insane, not big, right? Like the tight end label on him is a little bit misleading. He's more of like a slot receiver, I would say. But I think he's going to be on the field a lot with like the Browns will run a lot of 2 tight ends, which is what Kevin Stefanski's offense is centered around 2 tight ends. They got away from that last year to try and accommodate Deshaun Watson, and it was just an utter disaster. So they're going back completely to Stefanski's offense this year. You're going to see a lot of Njoku and Harold Fannin on the field together. And I don't know I don't know who's going to be throwing the ball. Flacco, Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, Shador Sanders. I have no idea, but I do think the landing spot for him was pretty good. And David Njoku is getting older too. You think the Chargers should trade for a wide receiver? I don't really know. Like, I mean, earlier in the offseason, I was I kind of wanted them to go get T. Higgins, and then it kind of developed that T. Higgins was not going to get traded, But yeah, I mean, so they brought back Mike Williams. What he has left, I don't really know. Obviously, I'm a big Ladd McConkey fan, but I actually think I think Trey Harris can be very good. I liked that landing spot for him. I think Trey Harris is better than some of the wide receivers that got picked in front of him. And I think it helps Trey Harris that he's going to a team with a good quarterback in Justin Herbert. So I actually like Trey Harris landing spot. So I think him, McConkey, Quentin Johnston, if you can get anything from, Mike Williams, they might be okay for right now. I mean, Ladd is a certified number 1 in my opinion. And then, can you get anything else from those other guys, I guess is the big question. But I like Trey Harris. I like that landing spot for him too. Overall, though, I think that about does it for tonight. We'll see what happens in these basketball games tonight. I told you guys tomorrow I'm probably going to be on the Clippers, so we'll break that down tomorrow. Baseball, just a couple spots. Smaller baseball slate today. And yeah, Steve, we'll bring Steve back on Wednesday. If you guys liked that stream last week, I would love to pick his brain about the NHL playoffs, and we can look at some NHL stuff too. I kind of I know it's 2-2, but I'm really interested in this Kings team to win the series. I don't know what the series line is. West playoffs. They're minus 120. I kind of like that. Yeah, DeJuan Caps, they're going to move on. I think they got that in the bag. We'll see what happens the rest of the way, but what a season from them. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Good luck tonight with your bets, DFS, fantasy, all that good stuff. I'll be live tomorrow, 11 a.m., same time, same place. And see you guys then.